Prophecy alert. Pope Leo XIV will sign his first encyclical at the anniversary of Rerum Novarum. He will address global order and religious laws. Pope Leo XIV is expected to sign his first encyclical on May 15, 2026, on the anniversary of Rerum Novarum, the landmark papal encyclical that advocated Sunday laws, Sunday rest as a benefit for society. The new document, reportedly titled Magnificat Humanitas, is expected to address artificial intelligence, peace, and the future of global order, while drawing upon the legacy of Pope Leo XIII and reaffirming the importance of Sunday worship and human dignity in an age of rapid technological and social transformation. Last May 6, 2026, the Catholic site published the upcoming papal encyclical. I quote, "The document carries the provisional working title Magnificat Humanitas on magnificent humanity or magnificent humanity, and will address contemporary challenges, including ethical implications of AI, questions of peace, and perceived crisis in the international and global law." The May 15 date would coincide with the publication of Pope Leo XIII's 1891 encyclical Rerum Novarum. Some of our friends do not have an idea of what Rerum Novarum is. Dearest friends, watch closely. What must happen in Protestant America? Answer: it will speak as a dragon. It will form an image to the beast. That's why Revelation 13:11, it says the first beast is Roman Catholicism, verse 1 and 10. That means America must form an image to Roman Catholicism. I believe that God allowed this event to awaken His people. The closing scenes of Earth's history are upon us. The image of the beast is almost completely formed. The mark of the beast is soon to be enforced, to be implemented. But some will say, "Oh, Elder Jericho, but Pope Leo is not Jesuit." All right, that's a good question. You might be thinking, Pope Francis is a Jesuit, but Pope Leo is not a Jesuit. Listen to this, dear friends. CNN News. Robert Prevost, now Pope Leo XIV, is a member of the Augustinian religious order. Now watch this. This says that the Augustinian order, also known as the Order of the Augustinian, is a mendicant order of the Catholic Church. What does that mean? What happened during the 13th century? What was the name of the chief reformer who was called the Morning Star of the Reformation before even Martin Luther came into the scene? John Wycliffe. Who opposed John Wycliffe? Who persecuted John Wycliffe? The Augustinian mendicant friars. Great controversy. Let's read with me. Another evil against which the reformer waged long and resolute battle was the institution of the orders of the mendicant friars. These friars swarm in England, casting a blot upon the greatness and prosperity of the nation. The youth were demoralized and corrupted by the influence of the friars. Great controversy, page 82. Wycliffe, reading on, Wycliffe now taught the distinctive doctrines of Protestantism. The kingdom of darkness trembled. Mendicant friars, such as Pope Leo XIV, who swarmed in England, listened in anger and amazement to his bold, eloquent utterances. The hatred of Rome was kindled to greater intensity, and again she plotted to silence the reformer's voice. Dear friends, Pope Leo XIV right now belongs to the order of the mendicant friars. And what is the progenitor of the mendicant friars? Answer: to overthrow Protestantism. It's the same as the Jesuit movement. Jeremiah chapter 13 verse 23 says, "The leopard cannot change its parts, neither can you do good who is accustomed to do evil." Mercy. That's the prophet Jeremiah. So now do you think it's accidental that a prominent cardinal born in America, the US, has been selected to become pope? Who belongs to the Augustinian order, the Mendicant Friars? Absolutely not. It was a careful plan. This new pope is the perfect choice to spearhead and promote Project 2025 Sunday laws.
In the world, but our cultural and educational institutions, America's soul, have succumbed to leftist rot. Military might and worldly wealth alone are not enough to preserve our founding principles, nor our once-in-a-generation electoral miracles like 2016. Our future existence as sons and daughters of freedom requires the satisfaction of a single paramount objective: the categorical defeat of the left. America cannot and will not survive. Otherwise, our time calls for an American crusade, yes, a holy war for the righteous cause of human freedom. We make a lot of assumptions about where our culture is, and we're wrong. And if we don't crusade a holy war, a righteous holy war for freedom, we're not going to save it.
A law concerning worship will come with a death decree. This is exactly what the third angel's message is warning us about. That whoever worships the papal beast and worships on Sunday as their holy day will experience the wrath of God. Will there be a death decree enforced against commandment-keeping people of God? Media Matters for America.com says, Heritage President Kevin Roberts, it would be very difficult, he says, for the Trump administration to make policy without at least consulting Project 2025 and the Heritage Foundation. We think, I quote, "we think this is the beginning of a golden era." And he says that it will be very difficult for the Trump administration to make laws without Project 2025.
Similarly, Project 2025 calls for the next administration to execute every person who is currently sitting on federal death row.
The greatest want of the world is the want of men. Men who will not be bought or sold. Men who is in their inmost souls are true and honest. Men who do not fear to call sin by its right name. Men whose conscience is as true to the duty as the needle to the pole. Men who will stand for the right, though the heavens fall. The May 15 date would coincide with the publication of Pope Leo XIII's 1891 encyclical Rerum Novarum. Some of our friends do not have an idea of what Rerum Novarum is. Dearest friends, watch closely. Rerum Novarum was signed May 15, 1891 and addressed issues involving labor, workers' rights, and Sunday rest. In this encyclical, Pope Leo XIII emphasized that society should provide workers with time for rest and worship on Sunday. Now, Pope Leo XIV, following in the footsteps of his predecessor, is expected to issue his own encyclical on the anniversary of Rerum Novarum, highlighting the continuing influence of Pope Leo XIII's legacy, Rerum Novarum, on Sunday worship by law. Rerum Novarum stated the following, I quote, "Civil laws, laws which so long as they are just derived from the law of nature, their binding force, the authority of the divine laws adds its sanction. Civil society exists for the common good, and hence is concerned with the interests of all in general." Reading on, "Let the working man be urged and led to the worship of God, to the earnest practice of religion, and among other things, to keep holy of Sundays. From this follows the obligation of cessation from work and labor on Sundays and certain holy days. The rest from labor is not to be understood as mere giving way of idleness. Rerum Novarum is about Sunday laws, dear friends. So the question is, will Pope Leo push the same agenda as Pope Leo XIII? The answer is yes. If Pope Leo XIV intends to build the legacy and principles outlined in Rerum Novarum, then this forthcoming encyclical deserves very close attention from us prophecy watchers, since Pope Leo XIII's 1891 encyclical promoted Sunday rest as beneficial for workers and society. We need to carefully watch whether Pope Leo XIV will revisit and expand. I believe he will level up the importance of the Eucharist and sun worship at the same time. Dearest friends, we are running out of time. Let us set our house in order. Total surrender to Christ is key at end time. Make sure that you are on the Lord's side. Kindly type in the comment section, I choose to serve the God of heaven. Thank you, dearest fans. Make sure that you are on the Lord's side, that you are standing with Jesus, and you will be found faithful when He returns.